Star Ocean: The Divine Force is the 6th mainline entry in the long-running series that started in 1996. The story starts a bit different depending on the character you decide to play as. You can play as Raymond, whose ship got shut down, which leaves him on an underdeveloped planet looking for his crew members. He joins forces with the Princess Leticia, the other character you can choose to control, who is traveling the world to find Midas, a scientist and magician she believes can help protect her kingdom from an impending war. The gameplay is divided into exploring, riddles and combat sections. The riddles are by far the weakest part of the gameplay, because as far as I remember, you only had to find the right door or a key to progress. Then there's the exploring, which is not too bad, especially with Duma, an AI companion which gives you the ability to fly or glide for a certain amount of time. And this gives the player a lot of options to explore and find hidden loot. The combat in general is fast-paced and fun hack-and-slash combat, especially because you can use Duma to fly and glide around or at your opponents as well. And because every single one of the many party members that will join you throughout the journey has its own set of skills, the combat is pretty versatile. And while all of this sounded very positive, some of the game design choices were so frustrating they made me put the game aside for a while more than once. What I'm talking about is that the game forces you to grind. Because at some point, some of the bosses will simply one-shot you and your entire party, unless you go back and level up 10 to 15 times before you try again. And running around fighting the same enemies over and over again because of a game's difficulty spikes isn't my definition of fun. And don't get me wrong here, I do not dislike grinding in general, but in this game it felt like a cheap trick to extend your playtime. So even though the story and the gameplay weren't bad at all, some of the design choices ruined my experience to some extent, which brings me to my final rating of 65.